Okay, I may be back. I'm not entirely sure. Everything was a little weird there as I got going again. I think I didn't have a good signal while I was inside the Cornwall Centre, which I just came out of. I'm now on the other side of it on Saskatchewan Drive. Oh, let's lose the stupid mask. So we'll walk around kind of out of the way just to make this a little longer. Not a particularly scenic side over here, especially with the work going on right now. Oop. Come back. There we go. It got confused. There's these concrete bollards here. I don't want to walk into those. So these were railroad buildings, and maybe CP is still over there. I'm not sure. But it connects here to Casino Regina. Oh, and if you're just joining me, this is part two. Part one was me walking down here. Part two is me walking home. I had to go to the drugstore and pick up some pills. Had to see a man about some drugs. Actually, it was a woman. Anyway, so the Casino Regina Show Lounge is right there. Brings in acts. You have to be 19 to go see them, though, because of being in the casino. And so we have not been there very often because our daughter was younger and couldn't go to any of those shows, and we didn't like to go without her. So, but it's the former CP train station over there, which is now Casino Regina. I think we can jaywalk here, looking down Hamilton Street. And in fact, I think I will walk down Hamilton Street. This is the, is it Delta now? Hotels change names. I have a hard time keeping up. A lot of the downtown is connected with these walkways, so you don't have to go outside in the winter. Not as much as some cities, but there's certainly, you can go quite a ways without having to go outside. It's not like Toronto, where there's a whole underground city. You don't have to go outside at all. They were supposed to build something quite large here, and it's never happened. It's still an empty lot. Parking, I guess, for somebody. Can't get into it from this side. Apartments up there. Never been in those. Then there's some banks. Well, that's the Royal Bank there, Royal Bank building. Restaurant. Here, before that was a nail spa. Don't get too confused. Dead End Alley. There's the Royal Bank. I actually need to go into the Royal Bank, but I guess I won't do that on this trip because I should have done that while I was turned off. The Alvin Hamilton building here is federal government offices. FCC, Farm Credit Corporation, that's their building. Another bank on the other corner there, CIBC. I don't know what all that noise is about. We'll keep on down Hamilton, I think. Looks like I can risk another jaywalk. There's some downtown art here. Another bank on this corner, HSBC. This street was, most of the stuff on the right side here of me is quite new. It's all built at the same time as these towers here, which aren't that old. These stores down here. Agriculture Place. Coffee shop over there, green spot. Here we have a dress shop. And up next is men's store, Colin O'Brien, where I have bought many clothes, including the leather jacket I'm currently wearing. It was purchased in there. That's where I get my glasses. It's Lancaster. Used to be the Capitol Jazz Club. Eaten in there a few times. Boutiques over there. Another bank. Canadian Western Bank. And there's scaffolding above us, hence this little pass-through. That used to be the Leader building. The Regina Leader Post used to be in there. In fact, I toured it as a kid. In high school, we came to tour the newspaper. Before I knew I was going to be a newspaper man, I still found it cool. And another bank, TD. This is the third tower. I watched it being built quite a bit because at the time I would come down here there was a coffee shop in this corner called Atlantis. Is this Atlantis? No, that was Atlantis. This was something else. And I would sit in here and write and look out the windows at them building this tower here. It has a nice kind of rooftop area up there for special events, which I've been up to a few times. Great view of the city up there. Laser Vision is actually closed, I think. Prairie Don Air, Oliver's Menswear. This used to be the Hudson's Bay building over here, but it's not anymore. Oh, that was the wrong. This is my optometrist, not the one back there. Forget I said that. Used to be out there. My optometrist was on the top floor of this building, which was great when you got new glasses because you could look out at the prairie and see how far you could see nice and clearly. Koi, I guess. I always apologize if I mispronounce the name. It's just a guess. We order pizza from that place sometimes. There's another office tower over here. Edward Tower there. It's a pretty one. I like that one. And there's a coffee shop down here, Brewed Awakening, which I've written in quite a bit, but not recently. I keep thinking I could go back because they are open, but I've gotten out of the habit. This is an old building. Used to be a florist. I don't know what it was originally. I should. It's in my book. And now it's a pub. It used to be an office building. Now it's condos over there. And this is the SAS Power building, which has been under scaffolding all summer. Getting a facelift, I guess. I'm not going to make this light. Well, maybe we'll go down one more street anyway, just to make it more interesting. There's another restaurant over there, Crave. It used to be the Assiniboia Club. My wife's parents had their wedding reception there, I believe, when it was the Assiniboia Club. Had a connection with it. It's a nice building and a nice place for events. They have a really nice dining room that dates back to when it was a private club. I won't go all the way down to Broad Street, but this is just stretching it out a bit more for the walk back, since the walk here was only 20 minutes. Our walk to Cornwall Centre was only 20 minutes. So I can cross here. We've got plenty of time. It's called the Motherwell building. I've been in a condo in there. They're quite nice. Ugly outside though. Still looks like an old office building. There we go, looking down Victoria as we leave it behind. And I'm glad you said hello on YouTube because I wasn't entirely sure the feed was working, so now I know it is. Maybe I won't bother splicing them together. I'll just leave them as part 1 and part 2. Why would I bother? It's just making work for myself. Boutique Apartments, Main Street. I don't know what those are like. Probably still renovating them. This is a brand new condo building here. This used to be the bus station. And then they built a brand new bus station, great big lovely bus station. And then the government shut down. It was called STC, Saskatchewan Transportation Company, because it was losing money hand over fist. So we have no Well, there is bus service, but it's not as good as it used to be. I've never been in there. Nice looking building though. And I keep meaning to go into this coffee shop here, but I've never been in there either. I won't go in today. Oops, sorry. One of many parking lots. Our downtown is not as densely built up as a major cities would be. And yes, Regina has grown since I've lived here, but quite a bit. And there are a few new buildings, but it certainly isn't showing any signs that it's going to take off and rival Toronto, or even Edmonton or Calgary, or even Winnipeg. Let me think. I guess we're going down this way. Oh, no, I think we'll go this way. Go down Hamilton again, because it's an old apartment building over there. It's the back of the Motherwell building. This is a nice old apartment building here. It seems to be well kept up. I've never been in it, but I like the looks of the outside, and they do a good job of keeping the grounds looking good. Back of the SAS Power building and Blessed Sacrament Catholic Church there in the Hotel Saskatchewan. We'll go this way. See? Very pretty building. Capel Apartments. Capel meaning, of course, who calls, and it's the name of the valley east of here. Another place I could go out and walk sometime, but the time to do it would have been while the leaves were changing, and they're pretty much gone now, or close to it. And another old one right next to it. They look like they ought to be connected, but they're not. This is the apprenticeship building. Apprenticeship Works, Saskatchewan. Looks out for apprentice programs in the province. This red building with the lights, which now has like a Western theme, and is some sort of restaurant. It was a Japanese restaurant for a long time, and in fact, there's a picture of us in there celebrating our first wedding anniversary, and now it's called the Chuck Wagon. And I don't know what kind of food it has. I have not explored it. We'll go over here and take a walk through Central Park. Yes, Central Park. It's not our Central Park, not New York Central Park, but it's our Central Park. At least I got him on camera. More apartments over there. This is Central Park. It's still got some color in the trees. And down here is a little, well, I'll talk about it in a minute. So this has this little gazebo here, and this baseball diamond over there. Park benches. So this is a little monument to well, first it talks about the park itself. So this park was established in 1908 as a neighborhood athletics field. And then Mary Baker here, who used to play here, went on to be picked up by a professional scout and played professional baseball in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. So there's some federal support for this. This talks about her here. It's also the first female sports broadcaster in Canada. And this over here is also dedicated to her. This is a lovely garden which is now gone because it is almost winter. And then these buildings down here are condos. We actually own a condo here that we lived in when we were first married. So we had a condo right off of Central Park. I think we'll walk through the grounds there. These trees were tiny when we bought our condo here in '97, but that's now what? 26 years ago? 24 years ago. I can do math. 24 years ago. And then this was built, well, the first one was the one down at that end. And then this one was built that we had a condo in. And then this one was built. So this little path in here has gotten quite lovely with the trees having grown up over the years. Don't really want to walk along College Avenue because I've done that quite a bit. Maybe I'll go down the alley here and then up to 15th once I run out of alley, which I will after one block. I mean, alternatively, I could just go over there and walk back through the park a little bit. Decisions. Then I'd be in the, no, we'll go this way. I walk through the park a lot. Another old house that's now a business. This alley should go through, but when this house was started to be built, but still has not been finished, it's been unfinished for years. It's kind of an eyesore. Somehow they got permission to block off the alley. Are they ever going to finish this? I don't know. There's been no sign of anything happening to it in years now. I know he's done the inside. He advertises it as a castle that you can rent. So the inside is done up like that, but I don't know if he's ever going to finish the outside. More old buildings now, offices. you are. You can see the cenotaph in Victoria Park down at the end there. This is Cornwall Street. Condo building, built before ours, but by the same company. Older style apartment. I think the nice old house over on the corner there, I think it's another hair salon at the moment, but people were still living in it when we first moved into the neighborhood. It was still a single family house. Another older apartment building over there. I used to know somebody who lived there, but I've never been in it. Interesting color on this one. Sometimes I'll come over here and just walk down the alleys just to be different. Nice to have a house that matches your apartment building. I mean, a car that matches your apartment building. A house. There's your old entrance. An old building like that always had a sort of a courtyard because without air conditioning you wanted to have everybody to have an outside window. It could be opened, and so there's usually a well of some kind. That's a very old house there. It has a doctor sign on it, but I don't actually know if there's still a doctor in there because that sign's been there forever. It has an abandoned look, actually. Been in this house on a Davin School home tour. I like places that put lions on their front steps, and they have a fountain that's not currently fountaining. I like this building, but that stupid green awning on the front is just ugly. Looks like a pig snout. Doesn't it? Definitely a pig snout. Fireside Bistro over here, an old house that became a restaurant. It's been a restaurant of one sort or another for years, although the name has changed from time to time. But it's been the Fireside Bistro for a long time. Has a nice deck. Depending on the wasp situation. One time we ate out there, Alice and I, we had to move inside because the wasps were so bad one year. So quite peeved by the guy at the stop sign back there. He tried to run it and then honked at me because I was crossing with the stop sign. I should have pointed the camera right at him, got him on camera. Is that vindictive? Maybe. I saw him coming. I assumed he'd stop. I guess you should never assume that people will stop at stop signs. Probably in Regina, it's safer to assume they won't. Another professional building. I've been to a doctor in there. City View Center, it's called. Oops, don't trip over. Chiropractor's been in here for a long time. I'm going to catch that light badly. It's a long one. Go down the alley and around the corner. Why don't we do that? Never walked down this alley. Although again, I might do a walk where I just do alleys downtown sometime, just to shake things up. Here's the back of Thai Garden. Eaten there a couple of times, not that often. This little building here, I think it currently has a puzzle room in it. I don't know if the goldsmith is still in there or not, but that's where my wedding ring was made. It's in that little building there. And here we are in the parking for the old houses that have been turned into businesses. Now the ends of the yard, a garage. I actually know the house that garage is attached to and have been in it many times. It's very nice. It's actually two houses put together. It's very nice. But the couple that owned it are gone now. So we'll go through here. Bit of a tunnel. Parking on either side. And there's the old Saskatchewan Government Telephones building, again, that I talked about. In the first half of this two-parter, which now belongs to the Royal Saskatchewan Museum and has a lot of fossils and labs in it. Well, I don't know if we did any better on the light, but we have to get to that side, so why did the live streamer cross the road to get to the other side? It's maybe funnier with chicken in it, but not much. Yeah, they're just going, so we will have a bit of a wait here. So there's the second SaskTel building, and my wife, who's an engineer with SaskTel, now works at the third SaskTel building, which was actually down at the Cornwall Center where I was when I took a break to get my pills. This is Albert Street. It's the main north-south drag through town. Goes right through from Highway 6 to, well, I guess Highway 6 just continues on the other end. Or is Highway 11, Highway 6, they kind of run together. I get them confused sometimes. I think we'll go over here and maybe walk down the Polk Crescent today. Or down the alley. Maybe I'll do the alley. No, I will stick to the crescent. I'll walk down the Polk Crescent today. I've been in this house, but I missed the house that used to be there because a good friend of ours lived in a historic house that they tore down to build this one. One of our rare brick houses in Saskatchewan, or in Regina. There just aren't that many brick houses. I don't know why it wasn't a favored building material. There's certainly some, but not as common as I would think. Maybe because there were lots of them in Texas when I was a kid, where we moved up here from. So this is the Polk Crescent. Over there is the Royal Saskatchewan Museum again, in the park, and the lake that I walk around every Friday. This one has an interesting front to it as well. Some Halloween starting to show up here and there. They need some inflation on their decorations, obviously. I like that one too, back in there with the brick. They have a really big house number, which isn't a bad idea. Ours is small and people are forever missing it. It's hard to see. Anyway. In general, the Leopold Crescent houses are a little bigger and fancier than the Angus Crescent houses where we live. And we might have a bigger house, but Margaret Ann's grandfather bought it in 1939, so the Depression was not yet over. Or he might have bought a bigger house, and we'd now have a bigger house since we are living in the house that belonged to her grandparents. Built in 1926. They bought it in 1939. And it's been in the family ever since. And it's still full of a lot of their stuff, actually. In the basement, there's still a lot of stuff that belonged to Margaret Ann's grandparents. Old houses collect things. I did a CBC series on CBC Radio, things I found in my mother-in-law's house. Don't remember how many we did, but we did quite a few. Sorry, trying to read that. Oh, Tim. Hi, Tim. Coming in at the tail end here, almost home. This is part 2 of a 2-parter today. And it did frost last night. It was -3 when I set out walking. Probably a bit warmer now, but it's only going to, I don't know, 6 or 7 or 8 this afternoon. Instead of going down that way, which I usually do when I'm coming back from the lake, I'll carry on around the Polk Crescent here because I don't really walk along this section of it very much. Well, the tombstones are Halloween. The sheets are trying to protect flowers from last night's frost. I've been in that house. There's a brand new one. Mixed in with the old ones. So, always some interesting ones along here. This one with the patio out front stands out. Very fancy railing on the steps too, I like that. And they have this really nice little landscaped area here. Another newer one over there, completely different style. They have a nice porch with some Halloween decorations going on. I've been in this house. A friend of Alice's used to live there. Well, maybe still does, but or her parents do. All right, so what this will end up doing is I'll end up saying goodbye when I get to my stop sign at the corner of Angus Crescent. Yeah, there's some snow in the forecast. We'll see. It won't stick yet. One of these days I might be coming out and walking in the first dusting of snow in the next week or so. We'll see. Possibly even tomorrow, I think. If I make a point of coming out early in the morning to catch it before it melts. So, this is the stop sign where I often stop, and we'll do so again today. Oh, squirrel. Oh, did I catch him as he made that jump? I'll have to look. Of course, he won't let me see him. He'll stay on the opposite side of the truck from me. I might have caught that. If I did, it might even be the thumbnail for today's part 2. Yeah, I don't think I'll edit them together. I'll just keep it as part 1 and part 2. Okay, well that's it for this walk. Thanks for walking with me. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye for now.